In a few moments, we'll be back with more bodybuilding and fitness sport. Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's issue, bodybuilding and fitness, and with us are the men and women of the Unified Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation of the Philippines. Welcome back, guys, for a second segment. Now, let's talk about that, nutrition and competition. Now, to bulk up, Michelle, sa kaso mo, para ka maka-accumulate ng muscle mass, anong klaseng pagkain yung kinakain mo?
More on carbs.
Okay.
Yeah, and protein.
Okay.
Yun. And then pag medyo malapit na, doon ka na like ako kasi matagal akong magtanggal ng carbs. So siguro mga 2 months before the competition, nagbabawas na ako ng carbs. More on mga protein na lang.
Yes. Now, Rocky, do members of your federation, the Unified Bodybuilding Fitness Federation Philippines, do you guys have like medical advice also to make sure your athletes get the proper nutrition? And because I'm asking this because when someone eats too much protein to bulk up, there's a tendency also to have accumulate a lot of cholesterol, and that can affect them on your cardiovascular system.
Sure. Actually, part of the activities of the group is to provide basically seminars, no? And the seminars will vary. There will be seminars for competitive bodybuilding, but there will be seminars also for those who are just starting. So that's the good thing when you're part of an organization, especially when you have world-class champions like these guys here. They're able to give you the proper advice. Like Michelle was just saying a while ago that she takes in a lot of carbs. And most people who want to get in shape, the first thing they don't want to take is carbs.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But really what happens is if you don't take enough carbs, you're a little lethargic in the gym. So the carbs actually help them perform much more.
That's the energy. That's where you
Correct.
get energy from carbs.
And also, everybody knows that after a workout, it's best to take carbs. That's why you have your energy drinks, which are basically made out of carbs, right? So that's there so that you could repair. Because if you don't have that, tendency is your body's gonna eat up whatever source of protein that you have,
and
that's your
muscles.
Your muscle. So that's why you get muscle atrophy. And the older that you get, the less muscle you're able to hold.
Yes.
So that's the issue there. So,
and that's one of the programs of the newly formed group.
Meron bang age limit ang bodybuilding?
I'm now 65.
Are you still a practitioner?
Of course.
And there's
not
actually a
hardcore.
masters. Yeah.
I just
there's a
do
masters.
cheating bars, squats,
but
cardio
competitively,
and cardio exercises.
Yeah.
Push-ups.
Competitively, they have a masters division, and one of our pioneers, Rene Dio, he's a frequent competitor in masters. No? So sometimes they go above 40, above 50 even, but in very good shape.
He won the international championship, universe.
Okay. Now let's talk about the competition itself, because as a layperson, and sometimes you see it on TV,
Right.
on TV, and we see all these guys, big guys, oiled, and big women too, oiled, huh? And like their muscles ripping out of their bodies and stuff. They all look the same to us lay people. How do you judge a bodybuilding competition? What are the criteria? Ano ba yung criteria dito?
Well, honestly, different countries would have different preferences, or sometimes different times would have their own season. There was a time in the U.S. where big freaky muscles was in vogue, so everybody wanted to be as big as possible. And then there was a time when Dexter Johnson was there. Basically, Dexter Jackson. They were going towards the more ripped body types with the abs and everything. So, but now it's a little different because it's a combination of huge muscles and really, really high-level conditioning. So they're big and ripped at the same time. So what we normally look for, we look for the symmetry.
Symmetry.
All right.
Figured it out.
Yes, and then we look for a lot of the detail. We look at the muscle density, the quality of the muscle. As they say, you can't flex fat, right? So they go through different poses, and we have some champions here who are going to show you the mandatory poses later. And those poses actually force you to show the muscles, to show your weaknesses and your strengths. So if you don't have abs, it's really going to show, because
During
in
the
the
motion,
mandatory
during the
poses, they'll show the front of your abs, then they'll let you do a side twist so they can see the sides of your abs. They'll let you turn your back to the audience so they can take a look at everything. So
Let's say peak period, competition time, in your case, Michelle, when you're getting ready for a competition, 1 month before, 2 months before, ilang oras ka sa gym usually?
3 to 4.
Also,
Yeah.
3 to 4. You never
Pero,
go
twice na yun. Twice a day.
So, total of?
Morning and afternoon.
that's like 6 to 8.
Wow.
Kasi
8
kailangan mo
hours.
split yung workout mo kasi nga wala ka ng konti na lang carbs mo, so medyo mahina na yung...
How does it affect family life? Kasi syempre 8 hours, you're talking about effectively 8 hours a day. Wala pa dun yung pagpunta sa gym. Palagi mo nang kasama lahat yon, transportation, getting ready, going to the gym, working out. Palagi mo 10 hours a day. That's a lot of time. And possibly, as I said in my opening spiel, yung pinakamahirap and pinaka-time-intensive sport itong bodybuilding. How is that? How do you adjust? How does your partner cope with this, or your family? It's difficult, huh?
Ang ano ko lang naman sa mga anak ko, ako pa rin yung naghahatid sa kanila sa school. At the same time, pag uwi ko, after ng gym, yun, check ko lang sila kung okay yung study.
Talagang it's really discipline. One of the most, as you said,
Time management.
engineer, time management,
Time management.
discipline with food, with rest, with recreation, everything comes into play talaga with bodybuilding.
Right. Because if you, like, when she's training and she's really, really focused, right, she wants to achieve her goal. And the reason she's able to allocate that much time into it, because she doesn't do anything else. Meaning, what I mean by that is, you're not outside drinking at night, and doing all these other things that normal people do. So basically, you have a lot of time, and what she's doing basically is making the most out of that time.
Yeah.
So that's why she's able to achieve a lot, and that in itself is like teaching your children already. You have a goal, you achieve it, you sacrifice, delayed gratification. At the end of the day, you achieve your goal, then you turn out to be a winner.
Let's talk about an issue which is at the very center of bodybuilding, which is the D word, doping. Now, what are your comments, gentlemen and lady, about the issue of doping in the sport of bodybuilding?
Yeah, when we first organized this group, one of the first things that we wanted to do was to have a legitimate organization that will actually control it.
Control.
Right? To control it, meaning we want to have competitions that have drug testing. All right?
Okay.
But then again, sometimes that's when you need some support. Because it's nice to say that you want to test them, but it does take some money to be able to
Too
perform
expensive,
these
too expensive.
tests.
Of
No?
course, of
Sometimes it'll cost you
course.
about 5,000 upwards to test each competitor.
Just one person.
Yeah.
Correct.
Wow.
And when you have a field of 100 to 200 people, that's
a lot of money.
enormous.
That's a lot of money.
Right. So enforcing it is still a struggle even in the developed countries. But it takes a group that really advocates natural and steroid-free bodybuilding.
How prevalent is dope use or steroid use here in the local bodybuilding scene? I mean,
Well,
what would be your estimate?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I would say it's more prevalent in the other countries because it's easily accessible. Here in the Philippines, I mean, given the state of some of the competitors,
You have the money to buy.
really similar to Dragon Boat, right? You can't even find the basics. Then you're going to get into that path.
Let's ask Michelle to bulk up, and I'm assuming that you, since you're a board member of Unified and a dedicated athlete, that you are a natural bodybuilder, natural method. What do you do to bulk up? Like, ano yung main pagkain na kinakain mo para lumaki yung muscles mo to reach that physique that you want for competition?
More
Meat,
on protein.
fish, really
Yeah.
high protein yung kinakain mo
High
talaga.
protein, yeah. Chicken, fish.